acid ends every unstuck. Singularity verbs implode, collapsing your luck. Superluminal rhymes traverse every timeline stuck. Hyperspace syntax warps existence into a mark. I crystallize chaos into fractalized luck. My vocal quasar eruptions obliterate, construct, destruct, reconstruct. Omnisyllabic weapons stream from my tongue like electrodust. Nanoplasma particles emptied into your corpus. I warp space-time metrics with linguistic force. Every rhyme a temporal rift, recursive in source. Cryogenic imagery freezes synaptic discourse. I annihilate probability with my verse, no remorse. Event horizon swallow every course. My larynx ignite, supernovae on the fly. Micro singularity metaphors collapse before your eye. My algorithms encrypt thoughts before you try. Spit antimatter logic in a black light sky. Quantum neurons resonate with my harmonic reply. Gravitons bend syntax like metal in my mind. Dark energy pulses through every rhyme line. Nano quantum phantoms in syllabic design. Hyperdimensional chaos weaves the narrative spine. Electromagnetic cadence fractures every spine. Tachyonic bullets pierce your memory line. Bioluminescent verses glow in deadly sign. I navigate wormholes of thought, rhythm divine. Cosmic horror images stitched in hexaline. Cybernetic demons nod with each verbal sign. Multiverse consciousness encoded into my spine. Neural fractals explode in a riffing incline. Hypernova syllables expand while I define. All dimensions listen as I crystallize the rhyme. Photon shard consonants cut sharper than spines. I fracture existence with entangled lines. Gravitational pulses sync with my designs.
Every particle in the room vibrates as I deform. Subatomic warfare to my tongue I deploy like a swarm. Holographic eyes pierce your cortex, your thoughts out of form. Dark matter melodies twist through vacuums of space. Every line I spit detonates in hyperspeed grace. Gamma ray resonance shakes the DNA base. Black hole resonance compresses the rhyme into singularity's face. Neutronium syllables compact like collapsing stars. Gravitational cadence fractures your mental bars. Holographic warheads loaded with lyrical scars. Face shifting my presence across interstellar avatars. Plasmatic consonants scour the ether with chemical heat. Bioelectric flows fuse with the rhythm of heartbeat. Transdimensional rhymes loop in a Mobius repeat. Cryogenic verbs freeze the synapses seat. I render reality into fractal sickle sense. Omniscient awareness drives my infinite references. Neural net assassins programmed with cosmic sentences. Probability waves collapse at the sound of my entrances. Tesseract rhyme folds space-time with no interference. I thread photons through phonetic stitching starlight seams. Syllables stream in spiral splitting singularity dreams. Volcanic visions vibrate, vector fields fold tight. I summon spectral scriptures through ultraviolet night. My diction drips mercury, alchemy floods the sphere. Transmuting fear to fractals where the end draws near. Cadence carved in cataclysm, cathedrals collapse in sound. I crown chaos and calculus where cosmic flames rebound. Tectonic tongues twist tectonically, tearing skies. Each vowel devours galaxies and continents crystallize. Psalms scorch plasma versus vaporized veils. Antimatter anthems hammer when equilibrium fails. I wireframe wormholes with whispered war hymns. Fractal fracturing hymns, spinning seraphic limbs. Deluges of data drowned, dimensions in rhyme. My mind writes equations that unravel time. Silence suffocates, trying to hold the storm. I conform, thunder in the scripture where universes are born. Every syllable sears like solar flares splitting the crust. I etch cataclysmic scriptures in equations of dust. Syntax bends galaxies, fractals fracture in flight. Each phony forge firestorms that blacken the night. I carve antimatter hymns in the marrow of sound. Tongues twist tachyon streams where lost futures are found. My cadence collapses, dimensions collapse in their frame. Each bar births entropy, each rhyme engraves flame. Neurons igniting cathedrals, circuitry chants and refrain. Prophecies bleed from my cortex through celestial chains.
Cerebral assassin with the plasma in my pen. I bend dimensions when I'm stepping in your mental den. Again and again I spin webs like arachnid zen. My venom spreads through 7 heavens when I count to 10. Then multiply by infinity until your sanity's thin. I'm grinning while I'm winning, got you spinning in the wind. My syntax is a sin that pins you to the floor within. A second of me checking in, your skeleton's caved in. I'm wrecking what you reckon is your weapon, but it's 10 compared to what I'm packing in this black hole that I'm in. My skin is made of antimatter, scatter when I grin. Your patterns don't matter, I shatter them and win. Begin to comprehend the end is where my flow begins. I swim through liquid nitrogen while scribbling with fins. My wind stacked higher than the spires where the fire spins. Desire burns empires and the choirs full of violence. Sing my name in frequencies that breach your mental fence. Intense like laser beams that stream through every defense. My presence is a death sentence written in past tense. Cause by the time you read this line, your soul's already spent. Electromagnetic scripture burns through retinas raw. Synaptic lightning strikes what Darwin never saw. My DNA spirals code through quantum law, while chromosomes compute what physics can't withdraw. Neuroplastic venom drips from silicone fangs. Binary toxins flood where consciousness hangs. Cerebral napalm spreads through memory banks as photon bullets pierce your cognitive tanks. Thermodynamic versus melt titanium shields. Molecular violence harvests what your genome yields. Tachyon linguistics bend space-time spine, while gravitons collapse your paradigm's design. Black hole semantics swallow light hole. Casimir pressure crushes what you call soul. My larynx launches warheads through dimensions. Syllable missiles breach your comprehensions. Event horizon where my tongue resides. Planck link precision how my flow divides. Antimatter consonants annihilate pride, while neutron star density makes weak minds slide. Quantum entangled bars lock your fate. Heisenberg's uncertainty seals what you create. Dark energy propels my vocal thrust, converting matter to apocalyptic dust. Bose-Einstein condensate where thoughts freeze. Absolute zero, how I bring MCs to knees.
Revisions, cruciform circuits combust. Crown of celestial prisons, plasma pole prophets. Pour forth on psalms in the scripts. Post patterns, pound planets, polarized power encrypts. Paradox, prophecy, phrase, parallel pathways equipped. Primordial program, push play through pyramids chip. Nanite narrative, nifting, nebulae net in my diction. Nightmare networks ignite, neurotic nose in affliction. Noetic nomads navigate nebula notions and friction. Notarized novas narrate nihilism's benediction. Graviton gladiators grapple gyrating galaxies in my grasp. Lips of gamma rays grind gaping ghouls in the gap. G is sorcery, death states generates geometric collapse. Gnostic gears grind gods in the graphic as I rap. Subatomic saber slice syllables and singularity stream. Synaptic synapse sync spiral through solar beams.
Night falls and I crawl from the rip with the script that's equipped with linguistic ballistics that rip through your ribcage like clips from a mystic. Automatic districts, algorithmic, suggested logistics will rhythm statistics of physics to shatter your mental logistic with sickening, sinister, vivid depictions of limbs being split with precision. Convictions written into my infinite friction of rhythms designed for your exorcism. I'm the predator embedded inside your cerebellum with venom infecting the spectrum of every sentence you pen with a lesser expression. My presence is pressure, a terror progressor, confessing my weapons of blessings delivered from depths where the dead are professors of endless aggression. I stretch the dimensions of quantum compression where words become weapons that etch in the flesh with a second of breathless possession. Syllable surgical, multisyllabics, vertical rhymes, coiling spirals that snap back, reversal. My internal journal burns through your kernel as rhymes vital spiral to crash your recital. Your title is fragile, my cadence a rifle on full auto cycle that snipes through your idol and dices his vitals into tribal symbols of a bridle. Step incorrect and get caught in the more of a verse with no pause. I deploy claws that soar through your jaw as applause is the shock when the crowd sees you drop by your guard in the mortars. Apocalypse laws, I'm carving through carcasses, harvesting thought particles. Architect barbaric metaphors melt into radicals, locking on poets who choke trying to mimic my chronicles.
Shadow cloaked predators slip from the smoke, dissecting your quotes with surgical notes while your throat is ripped open by vocals that float like a ghost with the sight of stroke. Neurospinal ropes wrap you in horoscopes of death while I architect catacombs with breath that's colder than flesh, left in frozen steps. Metaphors mutate in agoras. I splatter your core with war forms that roar louder than iron doors slammed in morgues. You can't endure the horror stored inside my scriptural reservoir with cadavers are cataloged with runes engraved across their jawbones and law codes written in blood on cathedral floors with carved syntax. Infection tracks with viral attacks. I collapse your ribs into black and glass shards that lacerate your past while your spirit is harassed by the mass of my lyrical blast. Furnace verbal murder surface as I brand you with infernal sermons. Words service as surgical currents tearing nerves from purpose until your corpus becomes a stage for spectral circus performances by demonic surgeons. Fiber optic guillotines sever heads clean while I interface their dreams into my machine. Scream through infrared beams that carry your soul to extreme. dreams of catastrophic scenes where puppet corpses dance in violent replays for spectator fiends. I breed apocalypse through microchips implanted in flesh and scripted with ancient glyphs. Each syllable is a scalpel that twists in tendons until they snap like ceramic limbs. Writing hymns in caves of hundreds of skulls carved into hymnals of despair. Your verses forsaken, shaken with tremors of vacant statements, one breaking craniums like fragile vessels hit by titanium hammers engraved with angelic banishments. I manage sentences so heavy they crack foundations of temples and scatter priests across cemeteries. I'm legendary but elementary to the beings that sent me extra dimensional entities that lent me weapons made of melted reality to level all fallacies. Poets fall tragically into cavities I dug with penmanship sharper than javelin, stabbing the abdomen of capital figments. I'm the pentacle phantom incanting banter that expands into cancerous patterns wrapping around you like black matter shackles. I hack through mental panels leaving neurons in shambles. Every channel broadcast your final battle of shadows. Dismantle what's left of your scandalous stanzas, feeding your remains to mechanical mantises programmed for massacre, chanting scriptures of annihilation, autopsy notes written as narration while I rip through generations with cybernetic incantations, cinematic kill sequence initiates. I tear open your rib cage with bare hands as ligaments snap like guitar strings tuned to dissonance. Your vision spins as your blood floods the pavement. Reflections of my wrath project across skyscrapers like horror films played at midnight.
Fanatic orbits bang as sonic mortars, written forces convert matter to language. Each sentence a vortex that rewrites time's end is prelude to damage. My calculations form apparitions that flat nerves. Every term a weapon turning through collapsed dimensions. Listen, my bars extend beyond comprehension. Gravity resists the tension, yet I keep ascension nested in precision. Frequency shifts as ink converts to avalanche physics. Rivals collapse under avalanche distance. Oxygen thin, where I spin vision in the prism. Internal mechanisms grip space, replace rhythm with decision. Compression twisted until clarity's prison erupts in collision. Foam infusion in motion, combustive architecture design. Each line divides memory from designation signs. I refine structure into weaponized silence. Thought rises in violence so exact it collapses science. I'm balanced yet violent in alignment, a hybrid of logic and iron defiance. Vocal wavelengths slash, shock waves crash, syntax flash in the data ash. Any adversary splashed across the matrix of masses. My script attacks with unrelenting math